येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निधि नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरतुषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। जयतां सुरतौ पङ्गोर्मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्बोजौ राधा मदनमोहनो। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam daily divine discussion. Very happy to see you, and if more devotees turn on the videos, that will be creating more excitement in the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Okay, so we were discussing from the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 5th chapter, right? And we are on the shloka number 27 now. We discussed 26, where Narad Muni says that he developed two more stages. He developed Shraddha, which is translated by Acharyas as Asakti, excessive attachment, respect and faith in the Lord. And he also developed Ruchi, but here Ruchi is a Rati, which means he developed Sadbhavana, the right mood, the ecstasies that was developed. Now what is remaining? Let us see. So this is the power of holy association. And that is why they say sadhu sanga sarva shastra koi, lava matra sadhu sanga sarva siddhi hoy. The slightest association of pure devotee can do wonders and magic. Sarva siddhi hoy, it will give perfection. तस्मिंस्तदा लब्धरुचेर्महामते प्रियश्रवस्यस्खलितमतिर्मम ययाहमेतत् सदसत्स्वमायया पश्ये मयि ब्रह्मणि कल्पितं परे। तस्मिंस्तदा लब्धरुचेर्महामते प्रियश्रवस्यस्खलितामतिर्मम ययाहमेतत् सदसत्स्वमायया पश्ये मयि ब्रह्मणि कल्पितं परे। तस्मिंस्तदा लब्धरुचेर्महामुने प्रियश्रवस्यस्खलितमतिर्मम ययाहमेतद् सदसद् स्वमायया पश्ये मयि ब्रह्मणि कल्पितं परे. Anyone would like to try reciting? Okay, Raksha Mataji, go ahead.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Tasmit tada labdhe ruchir mahamate priya sravasya akhalitamatir mama yaya ahamit tad sad asat savamayaya.
Pashye Mayi.
Yeah. Pasche mayi brahmani kalpitam pare. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Nisha Prabhu, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you. Tasmin stada labdha ruche mahamate priya shravasya sakhalita matimarmama yayahate tatastada sasava mayaya पश्ये मयि भ्रमणि कल्पितं परे. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Shyam Sundar Prabhu, you can also recite. Last.
तस्मिंस्तदा लब्धरुचिर्महा मते प्रियस्रवस्य अस्खलितमतिर्ममां यायाम एतत् सद् असत्स्वमयाय पश्येमहि ब्रह्मा निकल्पितं परे.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Tasmistada labda ruchir mahamate priya sravasi akshalita matir mama yayaham etat sat asat swamayaya pashe mai brahmani kalpitam pare.
Thank you. Somebody would like to read the translation? Okay, Grace Sanatana Prabhu.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O great sage, as soon as I got a taste for the personality of Godhead, my attention to hear of the Lord was unflinching, and as my taste developed, I could realize that it was only in my ignorance that I had accepted gross and subtle coverings, for both the Lord and I are transcendental. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. There is a very famous shloka that comes in the Shruti mantras. It says, Nayam Atma pravachenena labhyo, na medaya na bahuna shrutena, yamevaisha vrinute tena labhyas, tasyaisha Atma vivrunute tanum swam. One cannot actually understand the difference between body and soul so easily. Nayam Atma pravachenena labhyo. By giving lectures, you will not understand soul. Na medhaya. By intelligence, you cannot understand or realize or see that you are the soul. And bahuna shrutena, even if you have heard Shastras many, many times, bahuna means many times, shrutena, you hear or you study the Vedas many times, still nahi. Yam vaisha vrunute tena labhyas. That person will get tasyaisha atma vivrunute tanum swam. It is actually a gift. It's a gift of that Ishvara. Tasyaisha. It's a gift of the Isha or the controller of the Lord who bestows this blessing to realize and understand the true self. So here, Narada boy, he could realize that this gross and subtle coverings, the gross body made of Panchamahabhut, Bhumi, Rapo, Analo, Vayu, Kam, and subtle coverings, Mana, Buddhi, Ahankar. These 8 elements that Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, 7 chapter 4th verse. Bhumira ponalo vayu kam mano buddhi revacha ahankar iti yamye bhinna prakriti rashtata. So is bhinna prakriti. So it was only my ignorance. For both I and Lord are transcendental. He even realized the Lord. Yes, this is again a very amazing shloka that comes in the Shruti mantra, Svetashvatara Upanishad. Dvasuparna sayuja sakhaya samana vriksham parishashvajate tayor anyaha pippalam swadyu atti ashnan anyo abhichakashiti. This shloka says the very deep connection. Dvasuparna, there are 2 birds. Sayuja, Sayuja means they are very close. Sayujya Mukti means to merge. They are not merged, but they are very close. Sakhaya, close friends. Samana Vriksham, they are sitting in the same branch of a tree. Parisasvajate, beside one another, they are together. That is the intimacy between Jivatma and Paramatma. Tayor Anya, of the two, the Anya, that is the Atma, Pippalam, Phalam Swadi Atti. He is tasting the fruits. Swadi means to taste. And Anashnan, the other person, the other bird, Anashnan, he is not eating. Ashnami means, Krishna says, Ashnami Priyatatmana. So Ashna means eating. Anashnan Anyo, the other bird, is not eating. Abhichakashiti, he is watching, he is supervising. So At this particular point of time, the Narada boy realized everything. This is mercy. This requires mercy. So this came because of his excellent taste, rati. His intelligence became that rati, that bhava, that made his mati fix in Krishna. Mati means intelligence. And when the intelligence was fixed in Krishna, he automatically could see sad asad, gross and subtle existence, which is beyond, and I am beyond that. This is Lord's material energy. Yes. Brahmani. Brahmani means established in Krishna, fixity in Krishna. So, how did he realize this? It is very nicely mentioned that this cannot, what is the meaning of fixing in Krishna? Establishing in Brahmani or Krishna. What is the meaning of that? So, that is explained very nicely. So, with his gross body, he would offer obeisances to the deities. With his gross body, with his hands, he would carry the water pot of the Lord for service. And all other actions with other, there are 5 working senses: the mouth, the hands, the legs, the anus, and the genitals. And there are 5 knowledge acquiring senses, which are eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. They are the acting senses are called as karmendriyas, and the knowledge acquiring senses are called as gyanendriyas. So with everything he was fixed in tasting Krishna's sweetness. So with his Gyanendriyas, getting knowledge, he was tasting Krishna's sweetness. Through his eyes he was having darshan of Lord. Through hear wonderful katha. Through tongue tasting prasad. With his hand serving his pure devotees. So that way his senses became totally active in Krishna's service. And thus and his mind became absorbed in hearing the katha and meditating the katha. So this way he started tasting the sweetness of Lord's wonderful qualities which are mentioned in the Katha. The Lord's wonderful beautiful form, oh, they are describing about Krishna's beauty. So his mind started meditating. And he completely stopped using his Karmendriya and Gyanendriya, his acting senses and knowledge acquiring senses, for his own sense gratification. The sense gratification business stopped. Yes. So it is said previously also he was trying to fix few verses before, but it was taking some effort. But now effortlessly one is able to engage in Krishna's service. Why? Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchyate. What is bhakti? Bhakti is serving Krishna with purified senses and purified consciousness. What is purified senses? The pure consciousness is purified senses. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that Indriyani Mano Buddhir, in the senses, the mind and intelligence, the lust is covered. The lust virus has hacked the system completely. He's hacked the hardware, software, everything is hacked by lust. So they are impure senses. But the moment one doesn't want to engage senses in one's own gratification, Atmendriya Priti Vacha Tare Bali Kam. Atmendriya Priti Vacha. One wants to satisfy one's own senses, that is Kama. But one wants to give a full stop that business. And Krishnendriya Priti Icha Dhare Prem Nam. I just want to serve Krishna. So that becomes purified senses. When the enjoyment mentality is gone. And the moment the enjoyment mentality is gone for good, then what happens? The enjoyment mentality gone for good, then one can effortlessly engage in bhakti. Mind will get absorbed. It's easy to engage senses in bhakti, but it's difficult to absorb mind in bhakti. Why? Bhoga vritti is the answer. A person who's totally merged in the consciousness of being a servant of Lord or servant of devotees, for such a person bhakti is natural. So for Narad Muni, because he started becoming, he did Dasanudas. He became servant of Bhaktivedantas who were servants of Lord. And by doing this particular service, he was able to clear off this misconception of being an enjoyer and totally absorbed in being a servant, and gave up his enjoyment mentality, because of which his rati developed further. So this particular verse is not any particular stage, but it is the expansion of Rati. The last shloka quoted Ruchi, but actually it is Rati. Acharyas clarify that. And thus, material sense objects could not last. His senses would never get fixed, his mind would never get fixed on material objects, which so long they have been accustomed. It changed, and automatically Lord became the subject. So here he says that I see. I see means what? He got a direct experience. Bhakti pareshanubhavo viraktiranyatra chesatrika ekakala prapadyamanasya yatnasnatasnu tushti pushti shuddha apanugasa. This is Srimad Bhagavatam 11th Canto 2nd chapter, shloka number 42, where this verse speaks about direct experience. He got a direct experience. His bhava expanded, rati expanded, and he got direct experience of Lord. So that's what Bhakti Para Isha Anubhuti. So he got his Para Isha Anubhuti. That happened. Okay, who would like to read the purport? Somebody who has not participated till now? Anyone? Okay. Her Grace Meenakshi Krishna Prabhu, go ahead.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Ignorance in material existence is compared to darkness. And in all Vedic literatures, the personality of Godhead is compared to the sun. Wherever there is a light, there cannot be darkness. Hearing of the Lord's pastimes is itself transcendental association with the Lord because there is no difference between the Lord and his transcendental pastimes. To become associated with the Supreme Light is to dissipate all ignorance. By ignorance only, the conditioned soul wrongly thinks that both he and the Lord are produced of material nature.
Okay,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
thank you. We discussed a particular shloka, a very beautiful shloka, when we were discussing the first canto, third chapter. The shloka is Saveda datum padavim parasya duranta viryasya rathanga panir yo mayaya santataya nuvritya bhajeta tatpada saroja gandham. So this particular shloka, it talks about who is that Saveda Dhatu Padavim Parasya, who is the Saveda, who can understand Duranta Viryasya, the amazing, spotless pastimes of Krishna. Narad Muni understood it. So there are three qualifications mentioned. Yes, Yo Amayaya. Yo Amayaya means what? Amayaya means a person who is not retaining anything behind. He is not wetting consciousness with Maya. He is giving 100%. So Narada boy gave his 100%. When hearing Katha, 100% with the Katha. When serving the Bhaktivedantas, 100% energy fixed there. And that's how by giving his best, giving 100% energy, a revolution was created. So that is first qualification, Yo Mayaya. The second is Santataya. He continuously engaged, repeatedly for 4 months. These 4 months were his life-changing experience, where he continuously was only with Krishna. When we joined the Brahmachari ashram in our center, first 1 year they call it ICFC, ISKCON Celebrate Foundation course. And sometimes just to tell parents or to tell other institutions what you're doing, they say PDC, that is Personality Development course. But actually it is pure devotee course, which means that 1 year you are not given any managerial seva, no leadership seva. You don't have any department, no management, nothing. You have only do sadhana and seva, these two things. And to be very honest, that those were the best days of ashram life. There is absolutely, yeah, you know preaching also. However good speaker you are, oh, before joining ashram, I have made so many devotees, I made so many people initiated, nothing doing. You have to do toilet cleaning, bathroom cleaning, fan cleaning, ceiling cleaning, yes, vessel washing. We all did that. Chapati rolling, all menial services. So big IT corporate engineer joining, You have to submit your laptops, you have to submit your Android phones, iPhones. Nothing's going to work. No phone, no iPhone, only simple phone. You get this battery Nokia phone, simple, which is only meant for you to pick up call and reply call and reply to SMS for communication purpose. My God, those, but complete absorption in Krishna consciousness. So this was 4 months. This training lasts for 1 year. So 1 year, that is a training, and after that, then you have to pick up some service. You will assist the saffron brahmacharis, the seniors. That's how it is. So we used to study this section very deeply, Narada voice section, because our foundation course was based on this Narada's training given by Bhaktivedantas. So Santataya, continuously we used to have serving. We used to have 8 attendants. Starting at 3:45 a.m. is the first attendance. You have to be ready and you have to be present with 12 tilaks. So like this, 8 attendants used to be there. 3:45 to 8:45 in the evening, continuously. There used to be programs. Some sadhana program, seva program. Sadhana, seva, alternate. And we have to do that. By the time it's 8:30, you will be exhausted. You will be lying down like a wooden stick. Dandavat. Wow. It used to be like. So that is Santataya, continuously. So we got training of continuously engaging. And then Anuvritya. Anuvritya means submissive obedience to the spiritual master. Submissive obedience to spiritual master. So Amayaya, unreserving, Santataya, uninterrupted, and Anuvritya, with obedience, with the submissiveness. Then Bhajeta Tatpada Sarvajagam Badgandam. Such a person will understand the pastimes. So here also we saw that how Narada, because he had these qualities, he was able to realize the Lord and himself with the katha, and his ignorance was removed. Yeah. So next, Bhakti Sundari Mataji, I saw your hand up. You can read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Yeah. But in fact, the personality of Godhead and the living beings are transcendental and they have nothing to do with the material nature. When ignorance is removed and it is perfectly realized that there is nothing existing without the personality of Godhead, then nescience is removed. Since the gross and subtle bodies are emanations from the personality of Godhead, the knowledge of light permits one to engage both of them in the service of the Lord. The gross body should be engaged in acts of rendering service to the Lord, as in bringing water, cleansing the temple, or Prabhuji, could you please scroll up?
Offering obeisances.
Okay, yeah, offering obeisance.
Thank you. So Prabhupada is talking about practical services. The body bringing, that's what he did. He brought water pots, cleaning the temple, offering namaskaras. So each time we enter temple hall, we should offer obeisances. We do that. That's something which will, this engagement, namaskar, is getting us free from ignorance, free from nama, free from false ego. So it is very important for us to be conscious also of these things. If we want the ignorance or nescience to be removed, then we must be conscious that this particular service that I am doing is going to wipe off my ignorance. This service is going to purify me. So we don't become a servant simply by theoretical knowledge. Oh, I am a servant. Somebody got after Diksha name Das, I am servant. No. We will become servant when we feel that we are servant. And how that feeling of servant comes? The feeling of servant will only come when we do service. So that's why we have to do service. Once Srila Prabhupada was going and there he saw one disciple. He did not offer obeisances to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada said, you didn't offer obeisances to your guru? And he said, Prabhupada, I don't feel like offering obeisances. Prabhupada said, you first offer obeisances. Then you will feel like offering obeisances. So immediately that disciple got Dandavat Pranam. Yes, good. Vande Guru Shri Charana Aravindam. Always remember this. You be spiritual master, you have to offer obeisances at his lotus feet. That's the duty of a disciple. Prabhupada said that and he went. So, there is one reason that is mentioned in the Bhagavatam, 2nd Canto, 9th chapter. Why Narad Muni inherited bhakti? Brahmaji, he studied Vedas 3 times to realize the conclusion is bhakti. 3 times he studied Vedas. And after studying the Vedas 3 times, he had his 3 children, Daksha, Kumaras and Narada. So he bestowed these 3 personalities different portions of the Vedas. The Karma Kanda he gave it to Daksha. The Jnana Yoga he gave it to the Kumaras. And he gave bhakti to Narada. Why? He gave bhakti to Narada because of his very wonderful qualities. What are those qualities? Tam Naradaha Priyatamo Riktadhanam Anuvrataha Sushrushamanaha Shilena Prashrayena Damena Cha. Again, so here what we understand through this verse is explaining that Tam Narada Priyatamo. Narada was the dearmost son of Brahma. Priyatamo, best. Brahma loved all his children. But Tam Narada, that Narada, unto Narada, Priyatamaha, such best, the most dearest, Riktadhanam, he gave him his true inheritance, that is bhakti. Bhakti is the real inheritance. All other properties, he gave the whole Brahmanda to Manu to rule. So Manu got the entire Brahmanda. Right? But what is the real inheritance is bhakti. Riktadhanam anuvrataha. Why? Shushrushamanaha. He was engaged in proper service. Anuvrataha. With proper vows. He had vowed to serve. And he was doing service with intensity. And Shilena. He had high class character. Character is what you are when no one's watching you. And that character develops when we are aware that Paramatma is watching us. Right? And Prashrayena Damenacha. Very amazingly, he had controlled his mind and senses. His senses were properly engaged and his mind also was absorbed. By observing all these qualities, Brahma gave his true inheritance, what he got from Krishna, bhakti, to Narada. And thus among all the paramparas, if you see the Krishna, Brahma, then comes Narada. Why Narada? This Bhagavatam answers here. Tam Narada Priyatamo Riktadhanam Anuvrataha Shushrushamana Shilena Prashrayena Davainacha. Because of his wonderful qualities. So that Shushrushamana, that quality is elaborated here in this verse. Where one was engaged in service but with complete intensity, absorption. That is the kind of, it's not Sevena, it is Shushrushamana. Even how to get taste in Vasudev Katha, what is the answer? 1.2.16. What does it say? Shushrusho Shraddhadanasya Vasudeva Katharuchi. The first mention Shushrusha Shraddhadanasya Vasudeva Katharuchi San Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. How to serve is mentioned. Intense service is very important. Right? So we all have that opportunity to intensely serve. How can we engage our body, mind and senses? I personally feel preaching mission is the best way to engage everyone in service. Yes, we have opportunity to inherit Prabhupada's legacy by just following in his footsteps, by agreeing to be a preaching instrument in preaching. Somebody can repeat the Shastras as it is, that is preaching. Somebody can manage wonderful programs, preaching. Somebody can cook well and attract people through prasadam, preaching. Somebody can sing sweet kirtans, preaching. Somebody can go and repeat whatever class I heard, I'll go repeat to 10 people, create a taste for them and make them join the classes, preaching. Somebody is very good at convincing people to buy books, preaching. So some way or the other we can all engage in this wonderful preaching, and trust me, if we engage in this preaching mission in any capacity, our mind, intelligence, senses, everything is automatically engaged. Just today morning I got a message from some of my students that they are going to the university today to book table. And yesterday evening they were all planning. So I was just wondering how wonderful is Prabhupada's preaching movement. They absorb their mind, intelligence. Now they are going to engage with body and senses, planning. When we do all these things, then there is no time for nonsense. Right? So that way Mahaprabhu's preaching mission, Prabhupada's preaching mission is a very blessed one. Okay. Mother Shalini, then Sachidanand Prabhu. She had raised her hand first. Where are you? I am not able to see. Yes, yes. You can read, then Sachidanand Prabhu will read the last section. You can start from here.
Yeah, it's just sharing Hare Krishna in the meantime, and then Dandot Pranam. I'm just waiting for the screen to be shared, Prabhuji. Yeah. The path of Archana, or worshipping the Lord in the temple, involves engaging one's gross body in the service of the Lord. Similarly, the subtle mind should be engaged in hearing the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, thinking about them, chanting His name, etc. All such activities are transcendental. None of the gross or subtle senses should otherwise be engaged. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Very simple. I'm not going to explain much. Gross body in seva, subtle body in sadhana. So sadhana is for the subtle body and seva is for the gross body. These two ways he was engaged nicely. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj had once come to give us a class when I was in Pune, and he was mentioning that sadhana is medicine and seva is diet. A doctor gives both these prescriptions, what to take medicine and get treated, at the same time what diet to maintain. So both are important. If you only take medicine but don't follow proper diet, you will not get cured. Somebody is following proper diet but is not taking medicine, he will also not get cured. So if you only do sadhana, our sadhana remains theoretical without seva. We are only doing seva without sadhana, then our seva remains on sentimental platform. It will not last long. Right? It will not last long. So thus both are important, sadhana and seva. So sadhana for gross bodies, sadhana for subtle body, and seva for gross body. That's the point Prabhupada is making. Okay, last paragraph, Sachidanand Prabhu. Such
realization of transcendental equity is made possible by many years of apprenticeship in the devotional service, but simply attraction of love for the personality of God as it was developed in Narada Muni by hearing is highly effective. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So if we have to become apprentice under a spiritual master, and for a long time we have to go through this. Many years of apprenticeship. Apprentice, we have to be a sadhak for a long time. Apprentice means sadhak, newcomer, apprentice. He's new. He's getting trained, he's under training. But the power of hearing Bhagavatam is highlighted here. The power of hearing Bhagavatam is so high class that Narad Muni became a pure devotee. He could experience all these stages in 4 months. So the Shravan is very intense. So the power of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is indicated in this pastime. Of course, the spiritual master traditionally in Gurukulas would teach the Samhitas, they would teach the Vedas, which is also required knowledge. And that's a Vedic training. That's how it is prescribed. But here the power of Bhagavatam is mentioned. And we don't have much time in Kali Yuga, and we are very fortunate that Krishna has come in the form of Bhagavatam. So just by teaching Bhagavatam, yes, reading and preaching Bhagavatam, one can also experience all these symptoms. Only thing is we should not develop an offensive mentality. We would have become pure devotees by now. But very unfortunately, after chanting holy name, coming to Bhagavatam, we started committing mental offenses to other Vaishnavas, finding faults. That slowed us down tremendously. But if we give up the offensive mentality, that's why if all you have to do is chant Hare Krishna and avoid 10 offenses. And Bhagavatam ultimately is going to tell us the same thing. Chant Hare Krishna and avoid 10 offenses. So because 10 offenses we don't avoid, chanting Hare Krishna is difficult. And what are the 10 offenses? Among the 10, the first 10, the last is very, very important. Number 1, Vaishnava Aparadh, and number 2 is maintaining material desires. These two are creating problem. And another one is inattentive japa. That is giving rise to every other anarthas. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I just have a very small, simple question. You mentioned that when we enter the temple, we should pay obeisances in
1 minute.
our temple.
Just 1 minute. Excuse me. Someone at my door. You know? My class. Oh, so sorry, Prabhu. I have to get the door.
It's a simple
Yes.
question. You mentioned that when we enter the temple hall, we should pay obeisances. I know that devotees tell us to knock on the door, and we have Prabhupada, his vigraha, close to the door. So if we pay obeisance to Prabhupada, is that equal to paying obeisances to the temple hall when we enter? Or should we walk in, pay obeisances to the temple hall first, and then to Prabhupada? I wanted to ask you that
We
clarity.
offer obeisances first to all the assembled Vaishnavas. It's temple hall as such. Hall, we don't offer obeisances to hall. We offer obeisances to the personalities who are doing their bhajan in the hall, the Vaishnavas. And after taking their blessings, then we go to the founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, and offer blessings to Srila Prabhupada. So slowly what happens, we go lazy. We skip. Let's skip Vaishnavas. We'll directly go to Prabhupada. And after some time, the tendency will go ahead. Anyway, Prabhupada is there in altar also, right? Why to offer to Prabhupada? I will directly go to altar. So no shortcuts. This is what Yo Amayaya. Yo Amayaya means what? That's one of the qualifications to understand Lord. Which means no shortcuts. So we should offer obeisances.
Thank you.
Even karate, people who learn the karate, when they enter the dojo immediately, hosts, they offer and they go inside. So if these personalities are offering, they offer obeisances to, they bend down, they have their sensei, they offer sensei's photo, the direction in which their sensei is Okinawa. If they are studying Okinawa karate, from Okinawa, they offer obeisances in the direction where Okinawa is there. So much respect they pay to their art. So how much more should we be conscious while doing bhakti?
Thank
Yes. Yeah. Yes, Shyam Sundar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. When you were talking about engagement of cross body, is it like by doing engagement, one will become free from false ego, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you were talking about service, from service will purify mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And third one was like
Service will
feeling.
purify gross senses.
Okay.
Sadhana purifies mind. Of course, both get purified. We will not be able to
And
engage our mind in service without sadhana.
I missed the part when you were talking about the uh, how like feeling of service and
Okay.
obedience will come.
I'll repeat. The feeling of being a servant will only come to you when you actually do the service. But along with that, what is important is a sadhana where we realize we are not the body, we are the soul. But to have this conception of not the body, not but the soul is very difficult. But to have a conception of being a servant is easier. Yes, so if we have a conception of being a servant, we will make advancement very quickly. Narada Muni, he had that conception of being a servant of the Bhaktivedantas. So thus he became Das Anudas. In that mood he served, because of which he was purified. So service means to, what is bhakti? Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchyate. Giving up the other identifications, misidentifications, and identifying with only one conception, that is to Be a humble servant of Lord and his devotees. Okay. Yes, Raksha Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sorry, very dumb question. So you mentioned that real impediment. That was the three. One is Vaishnava Prad and maintaining material desire and unattentive japa. So my question is, being in the grihastha, how we can get rid of the material desires? Like they are always something. Yeah.
Yes. We always can see there will be one person's need is another person's greed. One person's greed is other person's need. It varies. So each time we can ask, is this my need or my greed? This is a question that we are supposed to ask. And if it is a need, we should go for it. There is no problem with material needs. Material needs have to be catered to. The problem is with that excess, that extra, because that is going to take our energy and consciousness from bhakti. So what to do if we have this excess desire? Do you understand, Prabhu, this much is need? This is that excess. Like we know what causes problem. Prasad is not a problem. Prasad is great. Opulent prasad also is good, but there is a quantity. The extra opulent prasad is going to spoil. We are going to face problem because of that extra. As such, whatever we eat, it's not going to give us problem. The extra is going to be a problem. Prabhu, that one extra kachori, it led to indigestion. That Prabhu, that one extra sweet, I put on weight. Sweet is not problem. That extra sweet is problem. So similarly, it is up to us to, we have to understand that mind has to be managed properly. So we have to manage that extra. And how do we exactly manage those extra? We have to, first thing is previous experience. We can quote last time, Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu. So last time you had taken the two big drones of custard in the night time. What happened? Oh, I could not wake up in the morning. Very good. I had indigestion. I couldn't sleep in the night properly. So we need to similarly reflect on our previous experiences of how much we have paid for that greed. That is through intelligence. We have to have that mental talk. And if still we are having these desires, all right, what you can do is you can cut it down. Little less. Reduce the desire. Do not give up. At least gradually if you reduce it, it's fine. Need has to be catered to, not greed. But if greed is 10x, okay, I'll at least do x. 9x बाद में देखते हैं. Reduce it, that is also a win. It is also a victory. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki